Post-match interview here at the Erie following today's 2-2 draw with Enfield. Dave obviously not here, so James, you can lead the talk. See, I don't think it was our best performance today in terms of the overall performance, but we must be pleased with the character that we've shown, and it's quite ironic that when we played down there, we were 2-0 up, playing very well, and then they came back and levelled it right at the end, whereas the tables are turned today, and we've come out of there with a draw after being behind.
Yeah, I think it was roles reversed, like you say, wasn't it? The 2-0 down, and I personally, I think it was a bit of a disappointing game overall, in the sense that I said to Skip Nine at the end that I felt that we were, the second goal they scored was unacceptable, really. Dennis and half run.
How did you see it? Because the players seemed to think that there was an offside there, and when I looked across at the linesman, he didn't look like he was completely in line, but obviously we've still got to play to the whistle, haven't we?
Well, as I always say, Lee, even when we're attacking, say, and the opposition are claiming an offside for us, it's the same back when we're defending it. It's all right saying that, but that's happened. The balls that's actually started the play, I think on the edge of the D, their D. So that was the one that was unacceptable, really, in terms of the manner that we let it.
It seemed like a pretty. I felt that it seemed like quite a slow start to both halves, and I think that not getting out and closing and stopping that ball, because the centre half's come a long way, almost to the edge of the box, and just floated and it wasn't like it was a fizz cross either, so there was still time for us to set ourselves, and yeah, it's almost like it went in slow motion, and we've given him a cheap one, really.
Yeah, I think I said to the guys at the end, the positive side of it was that we had young Raf come back after his injury, setback, was brilliant, really impactful, scored a great goal, and actually, fair play to the boys, the way that they managed to get the goals back, because actually, the truth be told, when you look at the whole game, whilst we were 2-0 down and we managed to get back to 2-2, there was plenty of time for us to get a winner. JJ pulled off a brilliant save for the last seconds, didn't he, as well? But equally, young Raf had a brilliant chance as well after that finish he made to make it 2-2. He then had one that you'd probably expect him to score because of how talented he is. He's just gone wide of the post. So actually, as I said at the end, on reflection, it's probably a shame that we didn't get more out of the game. But then, given the fact we were 2-0 down, the obvious thing would be to say it was a great comeback, which it was.
Skip, obviously 2-0 down early in the second half, and we got a lifeline sort of within 3 or 4 minutes. What was your view of the penalty? And obviously a word for Bondi as well, because obviously he's missed his last 2 penalties. To step up again today took some real character, and he stepped up and got himself back on the score sheet again today.
Well, from our angle, it looked like 2 hands in the back. We've shouted for it straight away, and in fairness, they haven't really argued it. So that sometimes tells you enough to think that's a penalty. Bondi stepped up. I mean, before last week he was 9 from 9, so he missed a couple. So yeah, fair play to him. We were going to change the penalty taker today, but so much going on before the game, never got round to it, and then there's no point changing it as we've been awarded it. You let the lads sort it out themselves. So yeah, one of those. I thought we did enough to win it. Overall, if I'm being honest with yourselves, a bit disappointed because the 2 goals we've given away, we've gifted them both, and we've got back. And then when we have scored the penalty, we've had a 5-minute spell where I think we've had 2 or 3, they've cleared 2 or 3 off the line. We've had a great chance from Dan Carey-Evans. It just looked like a matter of time. So yeah, one of those. I think overall, Lee, both sides, both managers will be looking at things. We're looking at all the chances that we created and we've done enough to win it. They've had a goal chalked off for a foul on the keeper that yeah, you do tend to get them, but was it enough for a free kick? Don't know. They've had a couple of half chances, so one at the death where JJ, as James just mentioned. So we're going to drive home thinking we've done enough to win it and should have won it. They're going to drive home same thought process, so they should win. So probably you could argue a draw is a fair result, and third time we played them this year, and there ain't much between both sides really.
Good stuff. James, we picked up a couple of injuries today. Is it too early to tell what the prognosis is? Because obviously Rio went off early in the second half after we got one back, and obviously Lee looked like he'd maybe popped his shoulder again, which is obviously not good news.
Yeah, Rio informed us we were coming off the pitch at the end of the first half. It was knocked to his ribs, I think that was just one that was following on from a couple of games back, that's given him a bit of problem. So, and unfortunately, yeah, Lee looks like he's actually dislocated his shoulder again, which is not good news. You seem to be getting players back, like Rafi did his shoulder, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's just come back today and he's 1 out, and 1 in, 1 out. It seems to be a bit of a nightmare. It's just bad timing and innocuous things, it seems, as well.
It's almost been a bit of a theme of the season, though, hasn't it? I don't feel like we've ever really put a side out where we've gone, well, yeah, we've got absolutely everybody and we're full strength today. It's been very much a case of we get one back and then somebody else goes out injured.
Yeah, I think there's probably a patch, probably looking back between the Canvey Island and York game where we had quite a settled team, didn't we? It seems from there, from about late October, illnesses, injuries, and then a combination of other, obviously some of the players have left, gone higher, etc. And yeah, it just seems we seem to get 1 or 2 in and then 1 or 2 out, and you had 1 or 2 from last week and the week before that were playing. We've got clean sheet centre half pair, and then all of a sudden injuries to those. So yeah, it's just, I agree, it's been one of those stop starts that you don't seem to get a regular team out really. But again, credit to the lads where it's due. All of the players that are involved are coming on and doing. Luke did really well again today as a fullback, got some good crosses in. Weddy's deputised at centre half really well. So Temmie's made lots of impacts again with getting the penalty and was a constant threat. So all the players are actually coming in as a squad, whether you're a squad player or one that plays fairly regularly, and they're all taking the chances to stake claim to keep the shirt.
Skip, just finally, obviously Raf came off the bench, had a decent impact today, and looks like he's going to be a decent attacking option for us in the second half of the season. We signed Sonny Coughlin-Brown this week as well. What can you tell us about him?
Well, Raf, he had 2 or 3 games. We played against him earlier in the year in the County Cup. He showed more than enough. He's a very good friend of Rio's. So yeah, we're pleased with him, and yeah, I mean, he's scored a day. Even he's saying he should have scored a second one, but his work rate, his character is unbelievable. He talks in the changing room. He's just an infectious type of guy. He's excellent for the changing room, really is. And Sonny, yeah, I personally don't know much about him. He's come highly recommended. Dave really knows more about him. He's been training the last week and he's done really, really well. It's one of those games today, we didn't get him on, but when you're 2 down and got back to 2-2, and then you've got the impetus, and it was us that really, probably till the last couple of minutes of injury time, it looked like we was the only ones who was going to get a winner. I mean, they were taking their time over all sorts, throw-ins, and the goalkeeper was taking his time on sorts. So I think at one point they were happy for a draw, but then so it wasn't really able to throw him on and have a look. Which sometimes you think you take a gamble, but the problem is you look around and everybody was performing. So we've done it before where you took somebody off to put the sub on, and it's had a negative impact. Yeah. So it's so from being 2 down to 2-2 and being in control of the game, everyone playing well. It really was. Who do you take off? Because Bondi was playing well. Temmie's pace was causing them all sorts of grief down one side. Raff had only just come on and was playing superb. He was just, one of those. So more to come from him. He spoke to him afterwards, so he's looking forward to training, and he knows it's not like pre-season where you come in, everybody gets 35, 40 minutes here and there and see what you've got. So points are important at this time of season.
Excellent stuff. Tame away next week. Their side immediately above us in the table. Obviously they picked up 3 points today, which is obviously not ideal for us, having only picked up a point, but we've got some tough games coming up, but also an opportunity. We're on a good run. I think we're unbeaten in 8 at home, I think, so we're on a decent run of form at the minute, and it's an opportunity for us to maybe show how far we've come since sort of late December time, where we were in a bit of a spell where we weren't picking up many points, but having come through that spell and we're now up to 7th in the table, it's an opportunity to pit our wits against some of those sides in the coming weeks.
Well, I think the coming weeks we're playing Tame, Welling, Real Bedford, Berkhamsted, Flackwell Heath. So yeah, they're all good sides. But I think we're unbeaten in 5 in home and away, and I'm really looking now is let's see if we can go into those games and enjoy them. at one point, if we hadn't had this good run that we've just won, of which 4 wins and 2 draws, we were just above the relegation zone. And while you always think you're too good to go down, if you haven't picked those points up and then you go into that run of fixtures, it would have looked a little bit dodgy, if I'm honest with you. But we're now looking up. We can go and ruin some teams' seasons there now, because they're going to be wanting to play us, and not many teams will fancy playing us really, in the form we're in and how we can play. So we start with Tame. We should have beat Tame here. We were 2 up and lost 3-2. So that'll be a tough one. Welling was probably the worst game of football I've ever been involved in over there. 0-0 on a quagmire of a pitch. It was dreadful. So playing back here, see how we get on a good surface. And then Real Bedford, well, I like the idea that we turn up against them this time, because we gave them a 5-goal head start, which wasn't part of the team talk, but we'll see how it goes this time.
Excellent stuff. Well, cheers for joining us, gents. As I say, we wish Lee well with his shoulder injury, and we go again next Saturday at Tame United.
Cheers, Lee. Thank you.